providing us a lot of literature, old photograph, and health file of Mahatma Gandhi, and we were able to achieve many new things in the area of Gandhi and health. I welcome all the directors of ICMR Institute and the scientists, those who are connected through Zoom. I also welcome all the head of the division, many heads, they are sitting here, Dr. Dhariwal, Dr. A.M. Khan, Dr. Rajni Kaul, and our administrative heads, Dr. Lakshmi Narayan, Dr. Babu, Dr. Tuteja, additional DG also. So I welcome you all to being with us and supporting us in all these activities. I also welcome our all colleagues and friends, those who are connected either physically or through Zoom. So thank you all. So I will explain in detail about the activities which were carried out during last 2 years. Major activities were that we brought out this special journal on Gandhi and health for the very special journal. It was released by His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Dr. Abhay Bang, Dr. Annamali, he was the co-editor of this journal. Then we carried out 2-day symposium on Gandhi and health. Very known experts and known Gandhian scholars, they came here in ICMR, they delivered talk. Then we also carried forward the Gandhi teaching ideology and philosophy to the school children with the new program on Mission Shakti, school-based health awareness, knowledge test and training. And we carried out many teaching programs for the school children so that they can learn many new things on Gandhi and health. Then we also participated on the India International Science Festival, and 2,000 students were there. So we also carried out the Gandhi teaching in the 2,000 students at IISF Calcutta. Considering the large, huge population of Hindi-speaking areas, so we also brought out the Hindi version of the Gandhi and health with the name Gandhi or Swast at 150. So these were the major activities. Then we also set up a Gandhi museum at the ICMR headquarters. Then the essay competition was also there. The lecture, we also did many lectures on Gandhi and health. A photo competition was also organized, and a musical program on Gandhi, re-invoking Gandhi, was also happened in ICMR headquarters. So I thank you all for being here. So I will request our Honorable Secretary and DG ICMR, Dr. Balram Bhargava, for his opening remark. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Rajnikant. Our esteemed speaker for today, Dr. Abhay Bang, Dr. Anna Malai, and Dr. Rajnikant, the three editors of the journal IGMR Gandhi and Health, the directors of all the ICMR institutes and guests, and the heads of the divisions here, and the additional DG, Dr. Tuteja, and all the people who are present physically as well as by virtually. Now, this is a great day for us. As far as I am concerned, Gandhi's 150 years has been very, very educative, not only to ICMR, but to his contribution to health was appreciated by his first book, Gandhi's Key to Health, in 1942, which were a collection of his writings by Srimati Sushila Nayyar at that time, when she was his physician. Further, we have tried to take out and get some very, very interesting pictures from Germany, which were put in that, from a German photographer, which have been put in the book on Gandhi and at the IGMR special edition. And subsequently, several programs under the Mission Shakti have been carried forward by Dr. Rajnikant and his team at ICMR, and educating school children, more than 2,200 schools, and several children have been educated about the philosophies of Gandhi. Now, more important to highlight the fact that the Gandhian principles are of tremendous value, particularly in COVID times. We realize that his talk about Swachh Bharat and how he had inculcated cleanliness and next to godliness much before we realize it today, when we see that if cleanliness is there, we will have less spread of the disease like COVID-19. His philosophy of minimalism, or what we call less is more, has always been an inspiration for all of us in India for generations to come, and for generations, and it will be for generations to come, a huge inspiration that less is more. Less is more, and his concept of managing with the minimum resources is what India is known best for and will continue to be known best for, because we are uh, genetically endowed by the Gandhian principles of not wasting, using, having the minimum things and not having that greed. His philosophy was there is a thin line between need and greed. And so we have to just satisfy the needs and not the greed. So that is the most important point that he had mentioned. And the last point I would say that in today's world, many people say that minimalism is dead. But I would like to say, long live minimalism and long live Gandhi's philosophy for our country, not only for our country, but for the entire world, that minimalism and Gandhi's philosophy will teach us, particularly in today's times when we have the pandemic, we have to be satisfied with minimalism and be able to contribute to others and help others. So I wish all the best, and I'm sure this we look forward to the lecture by Dr. Abhay Bang. He has been a guiding light for central India as far as the healthcare at its minimalistic approach. And I congratulate him for his contribution throughout his life. And I'm sure this symposium will be a grand success. Wish all the best, and thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words and highlighting the Gandhian values, less is more. This we experienced during the lockdown time. So I think this is very, very relevant in today's time and scenario also. So on this occasion, we have come out with two books. One is the photo album, Gandhi and Health. Right side is the photographs, very rare photograph of Mahatma Gandhi, and left side are the quote on Gandhi and health, mainly on health and health related quote. And we have also prepared a compendium of the activities which were carried out during last 2 years. So I will request you to please do the honor and release both these documents. So I will request Dr. Ina, and I will request Dr. Tuteja also. He is additional digit. Sir, please join for the book release. Thank you so much, sir, for the book release. So now I will keep on continuing with the activities which ICMR carried out during last 2 years on Gandhi and health. So this was the journal, Indian Journal of Medical Research, which was prepared by the ICMR, and there are many important articles. It consists of a health file of Mahatma Gandhi, where we have mentioned about the all kind of health problems which Gandhi was facing. Then the medical legacy of Gandhi, what Gandhi did in the area of health, particularly for the control of leprosy and the tuberculosis and malaria, what he said. Then the ICMR contribution, how ICMR followed the Gandhian ideology and philosophy in the area of many health problems like tuberculosis, like malaria, like polio, or any other problem, nutrition also. So ICMR contribution following Gandhian principles. So I thank all the directors and the scientists, those who have contributed for this journal. And I also thank both the co-editor of this journal, Dr. Abhay Bang, who is connected here, and Dr. Anna Malai. So they did a lot of work, and I feel very safe with the association of Dr. Abhay Bang and Dr. Anna Malai. Nothing will go wrong while we were preparing this journal. This journal was distributed across the globe from Canada to NIH, USA, the WHO, World Bank, UNICEF, UNDP, then Brazil, then South Africa, Medical Research Council, Wellcome Trust, INSERM, then Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Korea. So it was widely distributed, and we received a lot of appreciation also across the globe. In India also, we distributed this journal to the Prime Minister Office, PMO officials, Niti Aayog, important ministries, and Science Department, secretaries, chief ministers of different states, state secretaries, health department, governing council, and executive committee members of ICMR, Gandhi institutions, particularly Sabarmati Ashram, Sevagram, National Gandhi Museum, and the Gandhi Peace Foundation. We received a lot of information. I personally visited the Sabarmati Ashram and the Sevagram Ashram, National Gandhi Museum. So we shared this journal with these Gandhi Association, Gandhi institutions, and the medical colleges, students, international meetings. On request, there were a lot of demand also. So then we keep on providing this journal to request where they were receiving, an ICMR institution and the media people. So it was widely distributed across the globe and within the nation also. We received a lot of good appreciation from all corners of the world. Received appreciation from the Chief Minister of Gujarat, Sri Vijay Rupani ji, then Yogi Adityanath, Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. It was acknowledged by the Prime Minister Office. We received a letter from the Niti Aayog, Railway and Commerce Minister, Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Minister of Tribal Affairs, Minister of HRD, Petroleum, Natural Gas, Finance and Corporate, Skill Development. So there were a lot of appreciation we received from different ministries. And Malayalam Manorama Week magazine, the editor Philip Matthew writes, this collected edition of IGMR is simply brilliant in conception and execution, laden as it with informative, authentic and well-written articles and rare photograph. He further mentioned, I am delighted that one of the guest editor of the collector's edition, Dr. Abhay Bang, was the Week Man of the Year in 1996. So we are feeling so proud that Dr. Abhay Bang was also associated with this journal. He further mentioned that another source of joy that this divinity who released this collected edition, it was released by Dalai Lama. So there were many appreciation we were receiving from different corners, from Gandhi Peace Foundation, KGMU, Lucknow, and Mahatma Gandhi great-granddaughter, she wrote this in commemorative volume, does full justice to the importance of healthcare in Mahatma Gandhi life. We received appreciation from the Navjeevan Trust that was started by Mahatma Gandhi in Ahmedabad. Volume is indeed very well produced in all ways with information that has not been easily available to readers. We received acknowledgement from the Ratan Tata, John F. Ryan, Director of the European Commission, and many more. So beside this journal, then we carried out this 2-day symposium, bringing intellectual minds together. And there were the presence of member Niti Aayog, Shri Vinod Paulji, Principal Scientific Advisor, Dr. Vijay Raghavan, Dr. Hank Begdam, Dr. Abhay Bang was also there, Anna Malij is there. So many stalwarts were there. So they came here, they delivered talk. So there were technical session in 2-day symposium. Sessions were on the insight of Mahatma, Gandhian values and philosophy towards a healthy nation. Following the footsteps of Mahatma, health, hygiene, nature care, cleanliness and sanitation, Gandhi, a known leader, unknown scientist, experiments with diet and dietetics, public health legacy of Gandhi, ICMR research linked to Gandhian values and philosophy, Gandhi and mental health, self-well-being and consciousness. There were panel discussion also, India's state of health and Gandhi, Dr. P.N. Tandon, Dr. V.M. Katoch, Dr. Manju Sharma, they were the panelists. There was a panel discussion on Swachh Bharat, the Gandhian principle that is changing the face of India. Panelists were Dr. Indra Chakravarti, Shri Balmiki Prasad Singh, former Governor Sikkim, Dr. R. Ramanan, Mission Director Atal Innovation, Make in India, Gandhi's Mantra for Health Innovation, Dr. N.K. Ganguly, our former Director General ICMR, Dr. M.K. Ban, who is right now no more, former Secretary DBT, Dr. Indu Bhushan, CEO, National Health Authority, they were the panelists. And Gandhi and international perspective, I thank Dr. Mukesh Kumar for kindly arranging all these dignitaries from different missionaries, from different European, Dr. Sachin Chaturvedi from the RIS, Dr. Mark Lindley, officials from Embassy of Germany, South Korea, European Union, Taiwan. So they were all here in ICMR. And it was very fruitful 2-day symposium. It was widely covered in different media, in English media, in vernacular media, in national dailies. Then we also carried out one new activity that was Mission Shakti. Shakti was the school health awareness, knowledge test and training initiative for the school children, so that students, they can take some lesson from the Gandhian ideology like cleanliness, like physical fitness, like balanced diet, no to tobacco, no to alcohol. So that will be helpful for the prevention of many, particularly non-communicable disease, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and hypertension. Then we did a pre-assessment. Then we showed a 5-minute film that was made for the Gandhi and Health. Then we have an interactive talk with the students. A quiz competition was organized, and then we did a post-assessment. And this we did with the support from the National Gandhi Museum and the Director of Education. Then we also prepared some collaterals. A mug was prepared, a logo was there. Then we prepared these charts in English and Hindi. And those who were winning, they were given some certificate, Mission Shakti certificate. This was carried out in Delhi. And in Delhi, 22 days, 36 schools, 3 schools, government aided and private schools in each district. Age group was 12 to 17, and there were around 3,000 students, those who participated in different parts of the Delhi. These are some of the glimpses of Mission Shakti. And the students, they took a lot of participation, lot of interest in this activity. It was something like a movement. Gandhi and Health became a movement, and the students, they were preparing charts, they were preparing art, and they were coming forward, and they are carrying out many activities, Champaran Andolan, Kheda Andolan. It was very interesting and very useful for the students to learn the Gandhian values. And there was a lot of appreciation from different corners of Mission and Shakti. Then we carried out this Hindi version of the Gandhi and Health. It was released by the Honorable Health Minister, Dr. Harshvardhan ji, during the ICMR award function, Gandhi or Swasth at 150. So this is also available, and we have shared with many those who are interested. We also participated in India International Science Festival. It was a huge science movement and activity which was carried out in November last year in Calcutta. We also did one health research conclave. There were topic on medical innovation, emerging and re-emerging infectious disease, tribal health, and nutrition. And Mission Shakti was arranged for the children, those who were participating. They came from all the corners of the India. There were around 2,000 children who participated in the Mission Shakti. And these are the glimpses. There was a science dome. These are huge pandal, and where 2,000 students were there, and we did this quiz competition, and we carried out many activities, showed the film also, and students really liked. Then we did a lot of lectures on the Gandhi and Health. One KL Sudarshan Memorial Lecture, it was given by Dr. Balram Bhargav in the National Museum. Then we talk on Gandhi and Health at one day symposium at NIAS. There was a lecture by Dr. Ganga Khedkar at National Gandhi Museum. A book review was also published in the Current Science on Gandhi and Health. An article was published in the Science Reporter, Gandhi Ambassador of Health, and the reintroducing Gandhi as Advocate of Health. Then we did a lecture on collaboration with the All India Institute of Medical Sciences in New Delhi. This lecture was delivered by Dr. Mark Lindley on comprehensive sketch of what Mahatma Gandhi said and did, health and nutrition, hygiene and healthcare. Recently, I delivered a lecture in the Gorakhpur University on adopting Gandhian lifestyle for boosting immunity against COVID-19. There was a second lecture on Gandhi and public health in India, his own health file and caring for the others. So there were many lectures which we were carrying out during last 2 years. A musical program, special session, it was held in ICMR, Reinvoking Gandhi, a musical exploration of Gandhian values. It was carried out by Dr. Deepti Navratna, who is the director of the Indira Gandhi Institute of Culture at Bangalore. She came here along with her team, and it was a very interesting program in the evening in the lawns of the ICMR, Reinvoking Gandhi. Then many popular articles were published in daily newspapers, magazines, newsletters, Science Reporter in Hindi and English also on Gandhi and Health. We also set up a museum in the ICMR, and all the exhibits related to Gandhi and Health, they are displayed there in the Gandhi Museum. And whenever any big dignitaries, they are visiting ICMR, so it has become a now protocol to give a book on Gandhi and Health. When Bill Gates visited ICMR, Kiran Majumdar, Shah, then Cyrus Poonawalla, so they are coming and they shared the book on Gandhi and Health. Thank you so much. So this was all about the ICMR activities which we carried out during last 2 years on Gandhi and Health. Now we have our keynote speaker, Dr. Abhay Bang. So before Dr. Bang start his talk, so I will introduce Dr. Bang. Though he doesn't need any introduction, everyone is aware about Dr. Bang, but it is my duty to at least give some brief information. Dr. Abhay Bang completed his MBBS from the Government Medical College, Nagpur, Maharashtra in 1972. Then he did his master's from the Maharashtra. Then he proceeded to Johns Hopkins, USA for doing the MPH. So doing medical degree from the Maharashtra, then going to the USA. Then he thought he would have joined any hospital or any big research center, but he believed that the power of research can help to solve the social problems, and returned to India and started working in a tribal rural area like Gadchiroli. He set up founded a search organization in December 1885 and started working on community health problems in the tribal and rural areas of Gadchiroli. The home-based neonatal care model developed by Dr. Bang and Dr. Rani Bang, she is the wife of Dr. Abhay Bang, has resulted in reduction in infant mortality in the study villages of Gadchiroli and ignited worldwide interest and research on preventing neonatal deaths in high mortality resource constrained settings. Today, based on Dr. Bang Gadchiroli model, 8 lakh village women in India are now being trained by the government under the ASHA program. This approach, which brought down the infant mortality rate in rural Gadchiroli from 121 per thousand live birth to 30, was honored by the Lancet in 2005 as one of the vintage papers. The editor and the historian of the journal considered Dr. Bang paper on newborn care to be one of the milestone ones published in 180 years. So that is the contribution of Dr. Bang in the area of neonatal health and the health care of the rural tribal population. This approach has been incorporated in the national program by the government of India and has been accepted by the WHO, UNICEF, and USAID for reducing the newborn mortality in developing countries. He has served on various national and state level committees. He has received many awards. List is too long. So he has received the Padam Shri also, ICMR award also, Times of India, Social Impact Award, Seshadri Gold Medal, World Health Organization. So there is long list, Jamna Lal Bajaj Awards, long list of awards Dr. Bang has been conferred. Recently, he published a paper in Lancet, Faced with Today's Crisis, What Would Gandhi Do? So he has written one correspondence in the Lancet on today's crisis, and we are so honored and grateful to Dr. Bang for kindly sparing his valuable time to share his thoughts for today's seminar. So I will request Dr. Abhay Bang, he is going to talk on perspective, Gandhi's perspective in the time of health crisis. So over to Dr. Bang. Sir, welcome to you, and now I will request you to please deliver the talk. Sir, can you unmute? Sir, can you unmute your mic?
Hello.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, fine. So let me congratulate the Indian Council of Medical Research for this unusual celebration. Unusual because apparently medical research and Gandhi are unrelated. So why celebrate Mahatma Gandhi? In this talk, I shall try to explore his relevance in today's global crisis. Relevance to health personnel, to medical researchers, but above all, to us as the citizens of the modern global order. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was born 151 years ago, today on 2nd October. He was no divine avatar. If he was, we could worship him, but we couldn't follow him. He wouldn't be of much relevance to us as far as the practice was concerned. But he was as ordinary as I and you are. In his first appearance in the court, he couldn't even speak properly. And that's why he's relevant to us. Because he was ordinary to begin with, he was relevant to us. Nelson Mandela, in 1994, while celebrating the 100 years of Gandhi's entry into South Africa in 1894, centenary was celebrated in 1994. And Nelson Mandela said something, it is so beautiful that I have to quote him. He said that 100 years ago, India sent a bumbling young lawyer to us. 20 years later, we sent back a Mahatma. So ordinary to Mahatma. That is the evolution of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. And that's why he is more relevant to us. So what is his relevance in today's global crisis? We are petrified and confused by current global crisis. Everybody is. It's a triple crisis, deep crisis. Pandemic of COVID-19 is raging for almost last 9 months now. And even before it arrived, there was a global recession, economic recession. And these two serious problems, crisis, where in the background was the phenomenon of global warming. So three crises, one on other. And this is further compounded by a lack of political and moral global leadership today. So in such situation, let us throw this challenge to Mahatma Gandhi. Faced with the present crisis, what would Gandhi do? Does he offer us any solutions? No, his solutions will have some common features. One, he will not merely preach, he will act, practice himself first. That's why he could make that, which looks very audacious statement. He said, "My life is my message." His message is visible in his life. Now, this is a very audacious statement. We can't make it about our life. I am so imperfect. My daily behavior, my actions are so imperfect that I cannot say to my children, "My life is my message." He could say it. If you and I try to make that statement, try it, and your tongue will hesitate. So his beauty was his practice and his preaching were one. Secondly, he would begin his actions locally. He would not chase the world to change it. He firmly believed that local is global. William Blake, the English poet, very beautifully said about this ability to be able to see the earth in a grain of sand. Mahatma Gandhi was able to see that, and so instead of chasing the world and trying to change it, he acted locally and the world followed. And the third thing, he would begin with actions which to begin with would look very small and silly, like spinning the wheel, like lifting a fistful of salt. But we know that these small and simple looking actions made history and changed the history of civil disobedience world over and made India free. So these three common features will be always underlined. Now, when I did this thought experiment as to what would Gandhi do today, that thought experiments, that it yields some directions, some actions, and some moral tests for our action. His first message to us will be freedom from fear. We are gripped more by the virus of fear than by the coronavirus. A fear pandemic has spread all over the world and paralyzed the whole world. Gandhi will ask us to first shed this fear. His one argument would be that sheerly on statistical basis, our fear is out of proportion. National figures, global figures, large figures of numerators are thrown upon us every day. These many thousands died, these many lakhs infected, but the population denominator is not ever used. If you divide that by population denominator, the risk of death, the ultimate of all risks and all fear is risk of death, fear of death. Except for the old people and people with comorbidities and the health workers who are definitely at the higher risk. But for rest of the population, the risk of death is really very small. We are currently at the peak of the epidemic in India, peak of the corona epidemic. And the last 2 weeks, actually, numbers are falling. So actually, we are already started declining from the epidemic, hopefully. Now, even at the peak of epidemic, there have been about 100,000 deaths. Looks big, but divide that by the population denominator of 140 crore, and you now have the risk of death for the individuals in India. It is 0.007%. It is so minuscule. And that's why on a very sound statistical ground, Gandhi would tell us, be free from the fear. His second argument would be that fear is a counterproductive emotion. Instead of leading to action, it paralyzes you. And his third argument, which would be his fundamental argument, would be spiritual. He would say human body is anyway perishable. You are not your body. You are the immortal soul. There is no death to soul. Why fear? Now, when Gandhi says it, the fear really starts melt away. His second message would be care of the sick. That was his natural instinct, visible on several occasions in his life, during the First World War, during the Boer War, during the epidemics in India. He physically used to take care of several patients in his ashram. Right in his Bapu Kuti, there was a room which was sick room, where he used to keep patients and take care of them. And that great example of physically serving Parchure Shastri, who was the leprosy patient. So this was Gandhi's natural instinct. Today, 1 million people sick with COVID need care. Gandhi would physically go and nurse them, provide them care. That doesn't mean he'll be careless. He'll be very fastidious about hygiene, hand washing, using masks, cleanliness, air ventilation. But he would provide care. Secondly, he would appeal to us to have faith in the body's natural powers of healing. Something he or people in those days used to call nature cure. Forget about the therapeutic part. Even as such, actually, we need more ventilation to prevent infection of corona rather than the ventilators. And those who are put on ventilators, a sizable proportion of them eventually die. So instead of that, he would ask us to keep some faith, trust in body's natural power of healing. And in the absence of very many effective proven treatments today, medical treatments, his main approach of keeping trust in the nature's power of healing is not really misplaced. Even as such, when the ICMR zero prevalence surveys, they give us figure, now 6.6% of India's population is infected, and these figures are probably from August. So by this time, even the larger percentage. No, out of those crores of people who are possibly infected and develop antibodies, very small proportion really became sick. The large seropositives or asymptomatics, really, they were natural power of healing took care of them. So Gandhi would ask us to keep trust in this. He was looking for a model of healthcare, something which could be practiced, which could be delivered in villages, in the hands of the villagers, which should be low cost. In 1946, when the political fight was occurring in Delhi and London, and the talks for freedom and partition were going on, do you know where was Gandhi? He went and lived in a village called Urali Kanchan, nearly 30 kilometers from Pune. And he started an institution to explore and develop a new model of healthcare for the rural masses of India. That institution is still running. But he was so keen on developing such model of healthcare, which was not dependent on hospitals and doctors and drugs and diagnostics and astronomical costs, but which is something simple, which villagers can practice, which could be provided at a very low cost. Not only for COVID, for several other illnesses for which today we are unable to provide care and these patients are being displaced because hospitals are crowded because of corona patients, Gandhi's emphasis on healthy lifestyle, empowerment for health, good diet and nutrition, and self-care and control of your vices becomes very, very relevant. I would like to call this model, borrowing from Gandhi's Gram Swaraj and Hind Swaraj, I call it Arogya Swaraj, where power of maintaining health, achieving health and healthcare is as far as possible in the hands of the individual, of the family, of the community. And they are not dependent in every small illness and in every case on doctors, on hospitals. In 1984, when I had returned from the US with my public health degree, I met an old man in Delhi. Now, when he was told that I belong to Gandhian family and I had just returned from the US, I spent my entire childhood in Mahatma Gandhi's ashram. My father had worked with him. So this old man asked me, तो अभय तुम अमेरिका से पढ़ के आए हो? So I said yes. So he asked me, what is Indian definition of health? I didn't know. I had studied for MD in India in medicine and then public health in the US, but never heard even this question, what is Indian definition of health? So I blurted out the WHO definition. So he brushed me aside. They said, वो सब Western है. Tell me the Indian definition. I accepted the defeat. He said, what is the word for health in Sanskrit, in Hindi? Swastha. The Indian definition of health, the meaning of health is hidden in that word itself. जो स्व में स्थित है वो स्वस्थ है, जो औरों पे निर्भर है वो अस्वस्थ है. What a beautiful definition. By very definition in India, health means freedom. Health means autonomy. Health means freedom from dependence on others. Such model, like to call Arogya Swaraj, and that would be Gandhi's model of healthcare. Now, incidentally, that old man who forced me to explore the meaning of health, Indian definition of health, turned out to be Mahatma Gandhi's grandson, Professor Ramchandra Gandhi. So, thanks to Professor Ramu Gandhi. His third message would be his talisman. It's too famous. All of us know it. When he said that I shall give you talisman, when you are confused, when you are in doubt, bring before your eyes the most miserable, the most wretched and human being that you ever saw in your life, and ask yourself whether your next action would help him. And give us the test of India or the global humanity and global healthcare. He knew that these are all ego talks. He gave us a very specific action, specific test, specific to you. The most miserable person that you have ever seen. Go and serve him, and you would serve the humanity. What a beautiful test. When one applies this test today, who would be Gandhi's talisman? And you don't have to scratch your head much. Those millions of semi-starved, displaced urban laborers who, because of lockdown, were forced to move back to the villages from where they had come some years ago. So second time they were displaced from urban areas, walking back, hungry, sick. That girl carrying her fractured father 1500 kilometers on bicycle. The Ranveer Singh who started from Delhi and fell on the road somewhere near Agra and died. His last words were to his family, "Agar aa sakte ho, to aa jao." So these people, they would become Gandhi's talisman. He would go and serve them. And he had enormous experience because he had served amongst the refugees of the time of the partition, 1947. How we continue to generate similar tragedies. Gandhi do? Shunning the limelight in Delhi, as he did in 15th August 1907. He was not in Delhi when the flag was being hoisted on Lal Killa. He left the company of Jawaharlal Nehru and Lord Mountbatten and Vallabhbhai Patel and went to work amongst the riot hit victims in Calcutta, thereby demonstrating through his action that our duty is not where the power is, Delhi, but where the powerless is. The victims of riots, victims of sickness, victims of COVID. Amongst those displaced laborers, what would he do? He would give them medicine, he would give them food, he would give them shelter, but most important, he would give them hope and dignity, self-dignity, which otherwise they are likely to lose. He will give them for livelihood, he would give them his magic tool, charkha, spin and produce. And he'll appeal to people like us, the middle class, professionals, urban people, that wear khadi so that these people get livelihood. That's how he would link us with those victims of corona. I suspect that he may even join hand on walking of those displaced laborers, and that would be his new Dandi March today. His fourth message and action would be inter-religious, interfaith unity. That was the last but incomplete cause of his life. In 1947, India was badly divided on religious grounds, Hindu and Muslim disharmony, riots, distrust, and ultimately that led to partition of India. Unfortunately, when the coronavirus arrived, Indian society was again going through similar turmoil. And we were busy stoking communal hatred. Even coronavirus blame was put on certain sects. It was wrong strategy. A deep division of hearts. How can we fight? Forget about China, but how can we fight corona if we are divided on religious grounds? So Gandhi would take this up as the foremost cause of uniting people of all religions, all sects. Hindus and Muslims and Christians and Sikhs and Jains, untouchables and tribals, bring them all together. He would go to their colonies, live amongst them, serve them, pray with them. He will send people like you and me to work as volunteers and serve these people. And that's how he would try to bring all Indians together, unite them together, even if that risked his second assassination. His fifth message to us would be, look, today, the fear of corona and strict lockdown have forced people to shut not only their doors, but their hearts as well. We are shutting our contact with the neighbors. We are afraid of getting infection. Gandhi would not approve this. He would say, I am responsible for my neighbors. That is my swadharma. In this hour, difficult hour, if my neighbors need my care, my love, my support, I would provide that. I'll take all the care of physical distancing and using mask and hand washing. But I'll not wash my hands with the responsibility of my neighbors. So he would love and serve them. He would ask us that how can there be a neighborhood without contact? If you completely avoid social contact, where is the neighborhood? And without neighborhood, there is no community. And without community, there is no nation. So he would take a very different moral position, that you have to prevent illness, but you don't have to prevent and cut down the neighborhood, the local bonds of relationships and responsibility. And when he would do it, suddenly the veil would be lifted from our eyes and we will realize that what depth of alienation this strategy and this fear has created us. The lockdown and the fear, they have made apparently everyone an untouchable. Gandhi would lift us from this fear. His sixth message would be, he would be truthful, honest, ever willing to accept his mistakes. He had a rare courage to admit his mistake. God, all of us try to minimize our mistakes by saying we commit mistakes, but when we make statement or when we admit, we minimize it. Here was a man who called his error of judgment as the Himalayan blunder. In 1920, he appealed to Indians for national movement, non-cooperation movement. He believed that Indians were ready for non-violent action, which Indians were not. So violent episode occurred in Chauri Chaura, and that one episode, and Gandhi said, it was my error of judgment. I own it. It was my Himalayan blunder. What a courage. When Nehru and Subhash Chandra and everybody was so keen that the movement should be continued, one violent episode, what happens? A lot of mob lynching happened today. Nobody sheds tear. But Gandhi on that one incident withdrew the entire national movement, took up the responsibility. And surprisingly, people of India, when he took up the responsibility and called himself having committed a Himalayan blunder, people trusted him even more. Now, what is the relevance today? Faced with the threat of corona, and look, we were in difficult situation. Suddenly a new virus emerged in China, in Wuhan. That virus didn't exist earlier. That disease as a clinical entity didn't exist earlier. We didn't have the genetic code. We didn't have the diagnostic test. We did not know the epidemiology, how it spread. We did not know. Even today, we do not know completely how to stop the epidemic. And so in the absence of such lack of such effective knowledge, errors are very natural. And we committed plenty of it. By we means the medical personnel, the public health persons, the policy makers, national leaders, global leaders, WHO, very naturally that yes, we were learning. It was a new disease, new challenge. So obviously errors are going to be done. But what is missing is that honest admission that we erred. Where is that admission? And in the absence of that admission, we are changing the goalposts. First, we said we will not let that virus spread out of China. Then we said we will not let it come in the India. When it came into India, then we say we will prevent its spread. Then we said we'll flatten the curve. We will increase the doubling time. Then we will reduce the mortality. And now we say learn to live with corona. Though it is understandable, this is how science grows. This is how we learn about new disease and how to control it. Actually, within 9 months, we have collected a huge amount of knowledge, which earlier it took centuries to collect. But if we change our understanding, if we change our strategy, we should openly, honestly admit it to the people. Yes, we were mistaken, but this virus, majority of them are the silent, asymptomatic one. So it is difficult to prevent the spread. Admission of mistake is very essential. Now, this is a very important attribute of a scientist and of a research organization like the ICMR. We all strive to find the truth. And we all know that we always find imperfect and incomplete truth. But we don't make any ego issue of it. As a scientist, we say, okay, my findings have these and these limitations. And after 2 years, we change our opinion. We change our findings. Because for researcher, for medical person, for scientist, if a medical person makes a wrong diagnosis, he doesn't have to adhere to it when he realizes that original diagnosis was wrong. So truth is our sole aim. It has to be. And here, Gandhi, there cannot be a stronger colleague to us than Gandhi. In 1931 December, when he spent 5 days with Nobel laureate philosopher writer Romo Rollo in Geneva, Louis Fisher writes in Gandhi's biography, the dialogue which happened. On the 5th day, Gandhi ji made a statement to Romo Rollo. He said, God is not a person, God is a principle, and that principle is truth. So now, the last statement which Gandhi made, as far as my limited knowledge goes, no other religious prophet or leader has earlier made. He said, truth is itself God. ICMR or the scientific community won't really. Truth itself is God. This is his commandment to us. So Gandhi would admit his errors, and then next step, what is the solution? Now we are moving away from medical and health solution to the global order. This pandemic has raised question about the whole global order which the modern society has created. In the past 12 years, actually in the past 200 years, we gradually built a modern global society which is industrialized, a capitalist society, a connected society, and ultimately we ended up at the beginning of the century, this century, or at the end of the last century with globalized economy. But this globalized economy is too fragile. We have seen that it repeatedly crumbles before the real estate scam in the US 2008. Now with this virus from China, and whole global economy has crumbled. So Gandhi, instead of globalized economy, would really advocate a local economy, economy of local production, local consumption, local relationship. This he used to call Grama Swaraj. He would ask us to use Khadi and Gramodyog products which your neighborhood produces, and not products produced in China or in the US, which produce economy of dependence. Along with the local production, local economy would naturally come the decentralization of the political power. So power from Washington or Beijing or London or Delhi should percolate down to the villages of India. That was his dream, a localized, loving, caring human society called Gram Swaraj. But then when he would say this, some consumers of the modern mass production system, they would ask, but what about us? What about our needs? We need Chinese products, we need American products, we need software games, we need pizzas and McDonald's and whatnot. Gandhi would ask us, are these your real needs? Or these are the needs implanted in your mind? You have been conditioned to believe that these are your needs. Is 24-hour sensory titillation our need? Are those several consumption products which 25 years ago we didn't consume, we consume today, we are so dependent? So he would ask us to distinguish between need and greed. His famous statement, there is enough on this earth for everybody's need, but not for everybody's greed, not even for one person's greed. So if we distinguish between need and greed, what is really needed for survival and being productive and creative, that can be made available locally. A lot of our greed and pleasure-seeking consumption, you don't need it. This what he called was Swaraj. Swaraj is, in his word, rule. Swaraj is not rule of the self, but rule on the self. To be able to rule your own mind is Swaraj. Mind is a bad master. So he would ask us to control our greed, our consumption wants that we call need. And when we limit our greed, when we limit our unnecessary consumption, when we limit our unnecessary production which cannot be sold, so the economic recession arrives, when we limit our mad transport and hedonistic travel, then the world becomes silent. We get more time to spend with each other. The smoke and the dust clears from the skies, and the rivers and lakes become blue. We can start listening to birds chirping and child's laughter. We have seen glimpses of such life in those past 6 months. And look, with this, the global warming would also start receding. His last act would be, and that would be his last message to us also, he would advise, would be prayer. At the end of each day, after you have made all, then he would say, sit quiet, reflect, and submit yourself. Submit to whom? That is your choice. Submit to God, submit to nature, submit to time or history, submit to truth. Choice is yours. But submit and surrender. Why? Because you have done all that you could. Now don't continue to carry that burden on your back. That would make a donkey of you. Become free by surrendering and submitting. What a beautiful method. Relinquish the burden of doership and expectations. Realize the tininess of your efforts in this infinite cosmos. Now leave it to him. Christianity, they call it, thy will be done. In Islam, they call it, Inshallah. And in Hinduism, called Hey Ram. And that were his last words.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, I have completed. Hello.
Complete, right? Okay, sir.
Oh, I
Thank
have
you so much.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello.
I have completed.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for very, very thought-provoking and eye-opening lecture. So you have already highlighted very, very important points such as Arogya Swaraj and knowing the neighbors, helping the neighbors, accepting the truth, and how Gandhian thoughts are still relevant in the today's crisis. We were trying to rediscover Gandhi since last 2 years, and after your lecture, it seems that we still need many years to learn Gandhi and to accept Gandhian thoughts and start implementing those ideas and thoughts into our day-to-day life. So, sir, thank you so much for your very, very informative, very useful, and very thought-provoking lecture. I think you need a standing ovation from all of us. Thank you so much for your very, very informative and very useful lecture. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
So I now will request Dr. Abhay Bang, if he is connected. So he will deliver his talk on National Gandhi Museum Association and revisiting Gandhi. So over to Dr. Dr. A. Annamalai, Director, National Gandhi Museum. Connected? So I will wait for Dr. Annamalai to join us because he is having a function at National Gandhi Museum today, because today is Gandhi Jayanti, so he is having his own function, but he promised that he will join. So we will wait for some time if he is able to join. So we are still waiting for Dr. A. Annamalai to join. So meanwhile, we will request if any of our director, if he wants to share some comments, some activities which they have carried out at their institute, so they can share till Dr. A. Annamalai joins us. So over to ICMR Institute, those who are interested, and they can share their experiences. So any institute, if they want to share any experience or want to say anything, Dr. Apurva Das, do you have anything to say? So we will wait 2-3 minutes more, otherwise we will close down our program. Dr. Apurva, please, can you please unmute?
Dr. Patil from Jalma, can I share something, please?
Yes.
Yeah, as you know, yes, we have a very popular song today. आज का दिन है बड़ा महान, आज के दिन तो फूल खिले थे जिससे महका हिंदुस्तान. Gandhi ji, this institute, Jalma Institute, which is known for leprosy treatment and research over the years, nearing 50 years now. And we all know that this disease was very close to Gandhi ji. And he personally, as Dr. Abhay said, he personally used to nurture these patients physically by the side of his, residence or in jahan wo rehte the. So similarly, here this institute was started by Japanese earlier by the permission of Indian government. And Japanese directors also in a similar way, they have contributed here to begin with, and they have laid a very wonderful foundation. And the same thing has been continued by our Indian doctors and scientists over the years. And we have a facility called reconstructive surgery, which, disability was one of the things which Gandhiji was attracted most to cure it. And that disability curing is one of the good centers, Jalma, where we have been doing the reconstructive surgery over the years. And as he popularly said, that don't रोगी मतलब don't रोगी से घृणा मत करो, रोग से घृणा करो. These were his words, and these are being followed during reconstructive surgery, and we are seeing that over the years we do the reconstructive surgery, and this is for any disability which comes that is being corrected. Apart from the diagnosis of the disease and various tests which have been involved here, which have been discovered or whatever invented here, and these are being followed over the years. And this institute is exclusively, working on leprosy. We have a statue of Gandhiji which was donated by Japanese, and that's a unique statue which was flown from Japan, which is installed in a main hall at Jalma. So those scientists and the ICMR, high-ups, whosoever, will be very glad to welcome them whenever they have a time to our institute and appreciate and guide and direct us on the new horizons coming up for treatment of leprosy. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Since you are heading an institute that started long back and working in the area of leprosy and now tuberculosis, and Gandhi was so passionate and working in the area of leprosy. Then he started nursing Panchuja Shastri, who was a leprosy patient. So thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. Dr. Annamalai called me and he is going to connect. So he is connected. So it will take further few minutes. So if anybody else who want to share his thoughts.
Yes.
Okay, please go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Rajnikant ji. First of all, I'm really very grateful to Dr. Abhay Bang. Dr. Abhay Bang's name I had heard several times, but I'm very fortunate for the first time that I heard him. And the way he has expressed about Gandhian philosophy and thoughts and linked it up with COVID-19 situation, there could not have been a better way to analyze the current situation and pandemic and making Gandhi's message interwoven with the current situation in such a beautiful way. So my gratitude and my grateful thanks to him. And if Gandhiji's life was a message, I think in today's context, Dr. Abhay Bang and Mrs. Abhay Bang's life is also a message for all of us. And I think we should all acknowledge that also with folded hands to him. And in our institute at VCRC Puducherry, today we have installed a portrait of Gandhiji, which is a painting actually. And most of our employees came. We asked them to come voluntarily, offered flowers to Gandhiji. And now I am getting pictures of our field stations in Koraput, Madurai, as well as in Kottayam, where all the employees have offered our respect to Father of our nation. And I want to also thank ICMR leadership, to my good friend Dr. Rajnikant and all those who have spread this message and linked Gandhiji's life with health in a very beautiful manner. All of us have seen what Dr. Rajnikant has shown, and also a very humbling picture of stalwarts when they were standing next to Dalai Lama ji. And I think there is a lot of message there, and time is short. And I would like to again thank on behalf of all my colleagues, and their, all the colleagues in the field stations, and thank ICMR and also especially Dr. Abhay Bang for such a wonderful message. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ashwani. I do agree with you. Dr. Abhay Bang's life is definitely a message for all of us. And you also mentioned about the Dalai Lama, meeting with the Dalai Lama, His Holiness. And Dr. Abhay Bang was also with us, and that was a divine meeting with His Holiness Dalai Lama. And we were in a different world. So we spent there more than 1 hour. It was definitely beyond expectation and beyond words. We cannot explain how the feeling was at that time. And we still cherish those moments of more than 1 hour with Dalai Lama. So thank you so much, Dr. Ashwani. And Dr. A. Annamalai has joined. A. Annamalai is the director of the National Gandhi Museum. And National Gandhi Museum was the partner with all the activities on Gandhi and health. And Dr. A. Annamalai, he was very supportive. He provided a lot of information. He gave us the health file of Mahatma Gandhi, in which all the health record of blood pressure, then the biochemical record, and many other things. The ECG of Mahatma Gandhi was provided by National Gandhi Museum. And many other old photographs he also provided. So I am grateful that he is so busy today because of the Gandhi Jayanti. He himself is having a program at National Gandhi Museum, but he promised that he will spare some time, and now he is connected. So I will request Shri A. Annamalai to please deliver his talk and enlighten us on ICMR NGM Association and revisiting Gandhi. So over to A. Annamalai.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Sorry for the my delay. Everybody is well aware of our Gandhi Jayanti celebrations here in Gandhi Museum. Not only in Gandhi Museum, we are connecting with all other organizations to celebrate Gandhi Jayanti. And Gandhi 150 has given us a wonderful opportunity to coordinate and interact with various organizations in India and abroad. When I first saw the health file of Gandhi, I was thrilled and I was excited. But I didn't know what to do. Luckily, Dr. Rajnikant came to National Gandhi Museum and he also excited and took this matter to ICMR. We are fortunate. National Gandhi Museum is so fortunate that we have a good relationship with ICMR to bring out a wonderful work, Gandhi and Health in Gandhi 150. The wonderful document, a very historical document during this Gandhi 150 celebrations. Not only that book, we also did various programs, Gandhi and Health in Delhi schools. That was also a wonderful experience of taking the message of Gandhi along with his ideas of health to the young students in Delhi. When I talk to Gandhi's health and Gandhi's experiment on health, everybody is surprised to see, because we are all see Gandhi as a leader of the freedom movement, one who engaged with rural development and always concentrating on his own constructive program. But we never saw him as a scientist. He was basically a man of science. And he said, if anything not logical to you, don't accept it. If anything illogical, reject it. That is the testing ground for Gandhi. Therefore, he called his own autobiography as My Experiment with Truth. And I don't know how many of us are aware of that when Gandhi was in jail, the British government, even today you cannot bring any outside instruments to inside the jail. Very, very restricted area. But for Gandhi, the British government allowed to take telescope for the use of Gandhi inside the Yerwada jail. So he spent nights to watch the solar system and other planet universe. And he has written articles on astronomy, because he didn't believe in astrology. He was very critical. But astronomy was excited. Therefore, we have to project, this is for our wish. During this Gandhi 150, we have to bring out hitherto unknown facts about Gandhi. Apart from his freedom struggle, apart from his rural development, he also engaged in various types of activities for the betterment of the society. His own ideas of health is much more relevant during this pandemic period. I should congratulate the team ICMR. I know how busy you are. And the world is watching you very carefully. And the people of India is also depending on your research. Such a very critical situation you are sitting in. You are so busy, but at the same time, your commitment to celebrate Gandhi Jayanti is really wonderful act of your commitment to your ideology. Therefore, on behalf of the Gandhian fraternity, I salute all the doctors who are involved in the research of finding out the vaccine for the COVID-19. But at the same time, we should also think of the man who is always thinking about the common man. How to reduce the sufferings of the common people during this Gandhi Jayanti and Gandhi 150 celebration during this important event. Therefore, I am so happy that I am also associated with ICMR during this Gandhi 150 celebration to bring out the book Gandhi 150. And they have also provided a very good opportunity to meet His Holiness Dalai Lama during this release function. Yes, that was a very spiritual experience for all of us. He discussed many things. See, the very being with His Holiness Dalai Lama is a lesson for us. He talked to us, opened his mind very frankly, and whatever questions we have asked, like a child, he opened his mouth. His laugh is infectious. Such a wonderful moment you have provided for us during this Gandhi 150. We are always indebted to the people in ICMR, the committed staff of the ICMR. And this is only the beginning. Dr. Rajnikant and the other team, our respected DG, this is only the beginning of our relationship. We have to go a long way. Actually, we have planned to take this Gandhian health to all the schools and colleges experimentally all over India. Suddenly the pandemic came in between, so we have decided to postpone this event. This is only the postponement, and we will always ready to coordinate and cooperate with the ICMR to take the message of Gandhian health to the wider audience, and particularly for the common people. So once again, thank you all for having given me this wonderful opportunity during this auspicious day of Gandhi Jayanti. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Jagat.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You have rightly said this is the beginning of our relationship. It is not going to end. We will keep on continuing to work, and we will find more avenues and more ideas to transform and implement at the grassroots level. As you rightly said, Gandhi was a man of science. We all believe that his book, My Experiment is the result of that he always believed in experimenting than saying anything. We always think that he was the first public health expert in India. Many people do not know that he wanted to become the medical doctor, but when he came to know that it involves the dissection of the animals, then he changed his idea and he started doing the law. Sevagram, where he spent most of his time, that was a nursery of his experiments on food, nutrition, and other areas. So Gandhi was himself a real scientist, a man of science, and we learned a lot. And 152 years is a very less time to understand Gandhi and to imbibe Gandhi and to translate his ideology and philosophy to the grassroots level. So I am thankful to Dr. Abhay Bang and Shri A. Annamalai ji for being with us, enlightening us, supporting us, and guiding us in this Gandhi at 150. And as Shri A. Annamalai highlighted, meeting with His Holiness the Dalai Lama was beyond our expectation. That was out of the world, and I will say that was a lifetime achievement. And we are very thankful that we could meet His Holiness the Dalai Lama. I thank our both the speakers, Dr. Annamalai ji and Dr. Abhay Bang, for being with us and sharing his thoughts and highlighting the ideology and philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi, which is so relevant in today's time, at the time of pandemic and dealing with the COVID-19. So thank you so much. And now I will request Dr. Ina Dogra for the formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. A very good afternoon to all of you. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the formal vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. It's a mixed feeling of nostalgia and elation to organize this closing event of Gandhi and Health at 150. Over the past 2 years of celebration of 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, ICMR conducted a series of activities on Gandhian principles of healthy life, as was already mentioned by Dr. Rajnikant in detail. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to Secretary DHR DG ICMR Dr. Balram Bhargav, whose vision, leadership, and support has enabled us to carry out all these events, without which nothing of this have been materialized. I would also take this occasion to extend my sincere thanks to ICMR senior officials, Additional DG Dr. D.S. Roteja, Senior DDG Admin Dr. GSG Iyengar, and Senior FA Shri Rajiv Roy ji for providing all the administrative and financial support to carry out all the activities without any glitch. I must mention my deep sense of gratitude for our guest and today's speaker, Padam Shri Dr. Abhay Bang, Director Search, for enlightening us with a new dimension of Gandhiji's principle and teachings in the current scenario of health crisis. I'm hopeful that this lecture would help us in rejuvenating our fight against COVID-19. I can't thank Shri Annamalai ji, Director in National Gandhi Museum, enough for all his backing to this initiative. I still remember the first time we went to explore this uncharted territory of Gandhian health. He was more than welcoming to share each and every resource of National Gandhi Museum, including the rare Gandhi health records. National Gandhi Museum has been the mentor and guiding light that has guided us all through this initiative and made sure that we don't go wrong anywhere. I'm also thankful to all other Gandhi organizations, the whole fraternity, Sabarmati Ashram, Sevagram, Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Medical Sciences, Vardha, especially Dr. B.S. Garg, for providing help in all possible ways. He made us introduce to all the people, all the Gandhian fraternity in person, so that we could experience the Gandhian teaching in person. I also would like to express gratitude to all the authors from ICMR and other organizations for contributing the wonderful articles to the historical edition of IGMR. Thank you, Dr. Anju Sharma, Editor-in-Chief IGMR, and the full team of IGMR for giving us opportunity to be a part of this glorious journal. During the symposium, endless support was provided by Dr. Chandrasekhar, then Additional DG ICMR, Dr. Mukesh Kumar, Head IHD, and Dr. Harpreet Sandhu for extending endless support and guidance that eventually led the event to a great success. I would also like to thank Director of Education, our team of Mission Shakti, Dr. Kalyan Ganguly, Mrs. Neeru Juneja, Dr. Deepak Malik, Ms. Pooja, and Mr. Vikul for making the program fruitful. During the Mission Shakti at IASF, I would like to acknowledge the immense support received from the NICET team, the director, Dr. Shanta Datta, and special thanks to Dr. Abhik Sinha for arranging all the school students from Kolkata for that special memorable event. I would also like to thank Dr. Kalyan KB Saha from NIIT Jabalpur for taking Mission Shakti to Jabalpur, and Director NIITH for his support to this mission. I would also like to mention the help and support provided by the directors of all ICMR institutes and heads of all the technical divisions at ICMR during this endeavor. Global Health Strategies has been supporting communication efforts at ICMR. They provided technical and partial financial support for this project. We would also like to especially thank the whole current and former team members, Mr. Kaushik Bose, Ms. Sophia Lonappan, Ms. Archana Sharma, Mr. Mirza Shadan, Ms. Soni Pal, Ms. Sania Sondhi, Mr. Bhavya Pratap Singh for all their help. I would also like to thank our other media consultancy, Akhya India, and the team members, Ms. Kavita Datta, Ms. Archana Datta, and Mr. Kamal Kumar for their help in designing and printing and media support. Last but not the least, I would like to thank Dr. Rajnikant, whose dynamic and inspiring leadership. We have our whole team consisting of Dr. Deepika, Dr. Lokesh, Manjeet, Mohit, Sapo, Sandeep, Vikul, we have all been able to present, to carry on all these activities. He was the pillar, support pillar, major pillar, without whose support, nothing of this would have happened. I thank all the dignitaries and colleagues present in audience, in person as well as through the virtual media, for taking out the precious time and coming here and thus making this event a success. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. If anyone is missing, so we feel sorry. It was not intentional, because it's a long list. It is a 2-year journey. We have tried our level best. So I thank you once again, all the directors, all the NCOs, all the scientists, those who were very actively participating in all the activities. I still remember when we visited Sabarmati Ashram, Dr. Lokesh, he came and he arranged everything. We went to Sabarmati and we were not knowing that we will meet Dr. Mark Lindley there. So Dr. Lokesh was instrumental for arranging the meeting with the Sabarmati people and Dr. Mark Lindley. So there are many people. So it's really difficult to name each and every person and highlight each and every contribution of each and individual person. So it will take much time, but we are trying to compile everything and we will share it with all the colleagues, all the directors, and our partners, National Gandhi Museum, Sabarmati Ashram, Sevagram. So it was a very fascinating journey, very learning journey, encouraging journey. So we learn a lot, but it will never end here. We will keep on learning and we will try to keep on improving and trying to keep on implementing furthermore. Thank you so much. Thank to all for joining us. We have arranged a cup of tea in the canteen. So I will request those who are present, they can join here for a cup of tea. Those who are connected online, they can arrange their own tea at their own level. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We
Thanks to ICMR senior official, additional AG Dr. G.S. Rodeja, senior PPC admin Dr. G.C. Anger, and senior FA Shiraji Royji for providing all the administrative and financial support to carry out all the activities without any glitch. I must mention my deep sense of gratitude for our guest and today's speaker, Padam Shri Dr. Abhay Bang,